Hello, my dear students. I hope you all are fine and healthy. Let's begin with our today's session. Children, do these pictures remind you of something? This windmill, these clouds, this kite, this breeze. What all these remind you of? Yes, wind. These pictures remind us of wind. When the wind blows, everything around us begin to move and bend. The doors and window panes, the plants, the leaves, paper, wind charms, and all others come into motion and produce different sounds. So, children, today we are going to learn a poem called Wind Song by Lillian, in which the poet beautifully describes a scene on the windy day when the wind surrounds us, how different things present around us begin to move and produce sounds. Now let's see the learning objectives of this poem. You'll be able to recite the poem with proper rhythm, stress, intonation and modulation of voice. This poem will help you develop the power of imagination. You'll learn difficult words and will be able to use them in your own sentences. This poem will make you familiar with different types of sounds that you experience in your day-to-day life. Now let us learn the hard words that we'll come across in this poem. The first one is whisper, which means to speak very quietly. In Hindi, it's called fusfusana. Now let's see the sentence. Ria whispered something into John's ear and they both smiled. The second one is clang, which means a series of sounds. In Hindi, it means tan tan tan. Now let's see the sentence. The bell rang with a loud clang. The third one is whistle, which means to make a shrill sound by blowing air through the lips. Now see the example of sentence. The referee blew the whistle to start the race. The fourth one is sigh, which means to let out a long, deep, audible breath expressing sadness, relief, or tiredness. Now let's see the example of sigh in a sentence. Misty gave a sigh of relief when she finished her project work. The last one is trash can, which means dustbin. Now let's see the sentence. We should always throw waste into the trash cans. Now let's recite the poem. When the wind blows, the quiet things speak. Some whisper, some clang, some creak. Grasses swish, treetops sigh. Flags slap and snap at the sky. Wires on poles whistle and hum. Trash cans roll, windows strum. When the wind goes, suddenly then the quiet things are quiet again. Children, repeat with me. When the wind blows, the quiet things speak. Some whisper, some clang, some creak. Grasses swish, treetops sigh. Flags slap and snap at the sky. Wires on poles whistle and hum. Trash cans roll, windows strum. When the wind goes, suddenly then the quiet things are quiet again. Now let's understand the poem. When the wind blows, the quiet things speak. Some whisper, some clang, some creak. In this poem, the poet makes us familiar with the different types of sounds that we experience in our day-to-day life. He describes how the quiet and calm things present around us begin to speak in the presence of wind. When the wind blows, different things in the surroundings produce different types of sound. Some objects whisper as if they know how to murmur, and then some objects like doors make creak sounds and bells make clang sounds. Grasses swish, treetops sigh, flags slap and snap at the sky. The poet further describes how the blowing wind attributes the real life characteristics to the non living things as if they have come alive. For example, the flags slap and snap at the sky. Children, do you know slap means to hit someone, which is a characteristic of the living things. But due to the wind, it seems flags behave like living objects and they slap and snap at the sky. The poet also tells us that when the wind blows, the various objects begin to act like a person, such as treetops sigh. Children, I have already told you the meaning of sigh, which is to let out a deep, long, audible breath expressing sadness, relief, or tiredness, which is a characteristic of humans. So it seems due to the wind, treetops also begin to behave like humans and they sigh. Grasses swish. Swish means to move quickly through the air, producing soft sound. Wires on poles whistle and hum, trash cans roll, windows drum. The poet now tells us how the blowing wind makes these non-living things move and produce different sounds like living things. For example, the wires on poles whistle and hum. Children, I have already told you the meaning of whistle, which is blowing air through the lips, and hum is gungunana. So the wire, which is a non-living thing, behaves like living things due to the wind and it begins to whistle and hum. The dustbin roll in the wind and windows make noise like a. When the wind goes, suddenly then the quiet things are quiet again. In this last stanza of the poem, the poet tells us when the wind goes away, all the things become quiet and calm again as they were before. All the objects in the surrounding stop producing sounds and come back to their original state of quietness. With this, we have come to the end of this session. Children, here are two simple questions for you all to answer. So think and answer. Number 1, write down 8 words the poet has used to describe sounds in the poem. The poem has lots of sound words that you hear when the wind blows. Do you hear any sound when it rains? If yes, then write down what sounds you hear when it rains. You can write the answers in the comment section below. Children, stay home, stay safe, and do not forget to wash your hands with a soap or hand wash at regular intervals for 20 seconds. Thank you. Keep learning and bye-bye.